Today is July 2nd, 2026. I'm going to make a progress video in the new camera. So, £201.8 or 91.5 kilograms. So there it is. Like I said, it's just a little bump in the road. Hopefully by next week I am at under 200 pounds. Today I wanted to show you kind of my routine and what I do to lose so much weight so fast. And I also want to specify that it's not normal to be losing the amount of weight I'm losing. You know, realistically, it's usually about half a pound to a pound a week. And at the rate I'm losing it, it's a little bit different than, most people. It's usually like, I think for me, it's like 2 pounds that I'm losing. So I'm losing it twice as fast, but that's also because I'm doing twice as much work. Because I just have more time available. So without further ado, I wanted to show you what I actually do to lose the amount of weight I'm losing. So I like to start it off with I'll start it off with the week, kind of. And I put this into 2 weeks so you could kind of see, because it is kind of a long schedule. So I'll start with Monday. So I'm in the gym on Monday. I hit chest and triceps, plus I do a boxing workout. Tuesday, I do back and biceps. Wednesday, I do legs plus a boxing workout. Thursday, shoulders and arms. Friday is my cardio day and abs, which is my 5th day. That's the day I also fast, and I'm making these videos. Plus a boxing workout on that day. Saturday is chest and triceps. Sunday is my rest day, if you want to call it. On Sundays I just try to get there to the gym, just to be active, because most people's rest days, they just look like laying on the couch, So I try to at least try to get in the gym and try to do something. So for me, that's cardio. And then if you noticed, from Friday to Saturday, we kind of repeated, and that's basically all it is. I repeat and I just carry it over. So on Monday, I do back and biceps, just like on Tuesday. So back and biceps, and then Tuesday, legs plus boxing. I'll get into boxing in a little bit. Wednesday, shoulders and arms. Thursday, cardio and abs plus boxing. Then Friday, repeat, chest, triceps. Saturday, back and biceps plus boxing. And then Sunday is cardio, or my rest day. So to just touch up on, well, I'll split it into 2. So that's my first workouts, the chest and triceps, back and biceps, the legs, shoulders and arms, and my cardio and abs. That's my first workout, I guess you could say. And then my second workout would be boxing. Boxing, I try to do every other day, starting on Mondays. So like for this example, I put starting on Monday, so it'd be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Sundays, I like to have that as my rest day. That's like my day to myself. I try to recover from everything. It's not easy doing all this stuff in a day, or all this stuff in a week. It's pretty demanding. And also on top of this, I also wanted to add that I'm stretching like 30 minutes in between this. So I guess I'd also put like stretching, like 30 minutes. Because it is really taxing, and if I wasn't stretching, it'd just be a lot on my body. But continuing, so I'd skip Sunday, and then continue on Tuesday. I know it's like, why don't I just start back on Monday? But I like having that little bit of rest, So for me, that'd be that'd be starting on Tuesday. So these Saturday, Sunday, Monday is enough time for my body to kind of get back to normal. And then I'd do Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday boxing. Now for the specifics, getting into the specifics as to what each workout is. So my gym workout, my first workout is 4 exercises. So 4 exercises of 3 to 4 sets of the main muscle group. So for example, if I'm doing shoulders and arms, it'd be shoulders. Or no, actually not shoulders. Shoulders is a weird day. I'd give an example, or I'd say for back and biceps. So the main muscle group for this day would be back. So I'd do back. And then I do 2 exercises, 4 sets of an arm exercise or a leg exercise, depending on the day. So for example, I put this would be like triceps or biceps, leg extensions / hamstring curls. And then it'd be 30 minutes of cardio or 200 calories burned on the incline treadmill. Actually, ignore this optional. I don't want to confuse you, so I'll just erase it. And then, let me get back to the shoulders and arms. So shoulders and arms is a different day. I kind of switch it up in between these two. So instead of the main muscle group being the shoulders, I would kind of switch it up. So it'd be the arm exercises. So for example, on shoulders and arms, it's biceps and triceps. That's your arms. It'd be 2 tricep exercises, 2 bicep exercises, and then 2 shoulder exercises and 2 shoulder exercises. On shoulders and arms day, which is the day after my leg day, I do 2 leg exercises that I couldn't finish on this day. So for me, that's the abductors and adductors. Now to the boxing workout. Boxing workout is pretty self-explanatory. It is a lot, but it's just what I'm used to. That's how I was taught, and that's just what I continue to do. So bear with me, this is pretty big. So it's 4 rounds of 4 minutes. Usually a boxing round is 3 minutes. And if you want your boxing rounds to be 3 minutes, that's fine. But me, I like to push myself. So for me, it's 4 minutes. It's not a lot, but it adds up. So that's four rounds of 4 minutes of jump rope, 4 rounds of 4 minutes of shadow boxing. Then it's 2 rounds. Here, wait, let me close my door. It's too loud. Oh, I can't even close it. All right. Okay. So the boxing workout is 4 rounds of 4 minutes of jump rope, 4 rounds of 4 minutes of shadow boxing, 2 rounds of 4 minutes of like realistic fighting. It's really just me mimicking pad work on like the heavy bag, because that's what I was used to. I was used to like about 2 to 3 rounds of pad work, but obviously I don't have that luxury right now. But when I do go to a boxing gym, that is usually what they would give me. So I kind of just did that into my own thing. 4 rounds, 4 minutes of heavy bag combos. So that could be jabs, like just doing jabs, jab straight. Rolls or like ducks, implementing ducks and rolls. Hooks. I'm very limited. Obviously I'm doing with what I can with a heavy bag, and then from there it'd be a mile run, which is actually what I just started doing now. But it would usually be, for me, this was like, and previously this was about a kilometer run for me, or a mile run. Realistically, this is just a run where I'm like really pushing myself, and then this would be the last part, the conclusion would be 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups if you can. For me, I can't do 100 sit-ups yet, so for me it's 100 crunches, and then 100 leg raises. That's the reason why I had optional here, because if you can do sit-ups, then you wouldn't need to do this. But it'd be 100 push-ups, 100 crunches, and 100 leg raises for me. And then I try to keep something optional, or not optional. I like to tell myself that, like I like to give myself a non-negotiable for every workout. I tell myself that, like, obviously this is just me. This is like a mental thing for me, but I like to give myself a non-negotiable, and for me, it's usually the last thing in my workouts, and that for this is my 30 minutes of cardio. It's my 30 minutes of cardio in my first workout, or like the gym workout, or 200 calories burn, or which equals 200 calories burn, and it's also the 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, in my boxing workout. So these are my non-negotiables. These I'm doing. If I don't have them in the day, I'm doing them every day. Well, wait, sorry. So this is a non-negotiable every day. 30 minutes of cardio. But if I'm also doing boxing, I'm also doing this every day for that day. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, I wanted to show you, because today was my first mile run without stopping, and I just wanted to kind of track it here. This is the first time. I don't know if you guys remember, but in the last video that I made, I told you kind of it took me like about an entire class period, which is about like 50 minutes or like an hour, to run a mile. And today I did it in 11 minutes and 25 seconds, and then a kilometer in 7 minutes, half a mile in 5:35. So yeah, I'm slowly making progress, and that's the whole point, just to slowly make progress. And yeah, it's a lot, but I do have the time. Fortunately, I'm able to do this, and me personally, I just want to lose the weight already. A lot of people they don't have they're not in no rush, but me personally, I just want to be more presentable for the career that I'm going to take, or the career path that I want to take. So part of that is just being physically in shape. So yeah, that's something I've noticed too, that people start to respect you more when you're in shape. You get more compliments. But one thing I also did want to say is that the boxing workouts are completely optional. They're not something that you have to do. It's something that I enjoy. It's the reason why I lose the weight so fast. When you find something that you enjoy, if you can do it 1 to 2 hours, obviously not a day. I mean, okay, let's say like 5 to 6 hours a week. If you can do that thing you love 5 to 6 hours a week, you'll be losing that weight like in no time. So for me, it was boxing. For most people, it could be something like as simple as pickleball or basketball, pickup basketball, biking, walking, something simple, something where you're constantly moving. Remember, weight loss is simply just eating less while doing more. So yeah. And also, the only reason I do this specific workout too is because what I was the first time I ever entered a boxing gym was 11th grade. I mentioned that in last video. And from there, I went again in September, I think it was when I started again. I said, yeah, September. The only reason I remember is because Canelo was fighting. But I went to this, I gave it another shot. I liked it the first time. It was just a matter of like my schedule. It didn't work. I was going to high school and doing baseball practice at the same time. It just wasn't. Uh, um, I had no time to fit in my schedule, and plus it was $200. So that's the reason I don't go all the time. So instead of that, I decided, you know what, this would be expensive, and I'm like, I can't, I wouldn't be able to afford this every month. So instead, I thought, you know what, let me make an investment. Fortunately, I was able to have a place. I put it like a place to hang up a heavy bag. So I was like, you know what, like what was it, $500 maybe most, 450, 500 for the bag. That's 2 sessions of boxing. So to me, that just made more sense to buy that than, or like 2.5 sessions of boxing. But to me, it just made more sense to buy that instead of wasting all my money on, some sessions where I'm only getting two times, or I'm only going twice a week, just because it's also far. It's not near me. So with that, I've been doing it ever since. This has been my schedule ever since September, or I guess you could say October, and it's been working out. So that's something I'd recommend. So finding like that little activity that you can have in the week, where you're at least doing it maybe every, like if you can get to do it at least minimum 30 minutes every day, you know, equaling the entire week. Or if you just had like some big sessions, like you go to the park to play pickup basketball 2 hours, and you're constantly sweating, and you have that for like a few hours of the week, you'll lose the weight in no time. It's just a matter of enjoying the process and really really enjoying it, because it does get hard. So yeah. Okay, I'm back after my workouts. I'm gonna weigh myself, see what I weigh in at today. Oh wait, let me get my direction. All right. So 201.6. It's not much of a change, but it's a change. 1.6 pounds. Okay, so that's 91.4 kg. Yeah. Alright. So like I said, it's not much of a change, but it is a change. I think I know why that happened. Because on Sunday I didn't eat too much. And usually when I don't lose weight, it's more so something to do with the diet. As you can see, like, remember last month. So I guess today I'm maybe gonna eat a little bit more. I don't know the whole science behind it, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because I'm burning so much calories that if I don't eat on the days where I do eat, just gotta eat a little bit more. So it is what it is. Weight loss is still weight loss. Maybe if I was going to show you what I eat, but I think I'm gonna save that for another time. If anything, I'm gonna take a photo and put it in the video, if the weight did change, because I'll usually see that. I won't see that change today, but I'll see that change within the week, usually around the third day. So probably when I hit leg day, on my leg day. So yeah, if there is a change, if it goes below that number, then I will take a photo of it, because that's usually what it is. It's usually just a diet thing. Need to tweak it. I don't think it was not drinking enough water like last time. I drink well more than enough water. So if that is the case, I will either make another video like this and include it right after this one, or I will just take a little photo showing that it was the weight, or showing that actually was it what it was that I ate under what I was supposed to. And yeah, since I'm explaining it here, I wouldn't have to record a video. So I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'll just put a little photo. But that is if there is a change. So yeah. Today's July 14th. Finishing a 2-day fast. I fasted the 13th and the 14th. So here to see what weight I'm at. So as you can see, going down slowly. I'm going down slowly. It was just a matter of time before it hit sub 200. It's the first time I'm seeing myself at that weight, and it's crazy. I'm exhausted after these 2 workouts, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fuel up, and then I guess see you in the next one. One thing I did want to mention is that I told you, like, if I didn't get it that week, I was gonna get it this week. So here we are. Or if I didn't get it, what was it, July 8th, that I was gonna get it the following week. So yeah, here we are. One thing I forgot to say is that obviously this is a crazy accomplishment, and you know, just thinking about it, it's, you know, crazy seeing, you know, that scale say, like that scale beginning with 1 and not 2 or 3. So for me, that's a big accomplishment, and the fact that I get to record this and, you know, have it for later, it's cool too. You know, and maybe it can help someone who's trying to be in my position, or who's trying to lose weight, or maybe it can help someone that's in my position, you know, trying to lose weight and trying to get to whatever weight they have in mind, you know, or their goal. So it is a crazy accomplishment, and I'm glad that I get to record this, because then, you know, I can look back at it. I can look back at it when I'm, you know, over with my weight loss journey. And I'm, you know, doing other things. So it's cool that I get to do this, and then also it's cool that I get to do this, and then also, you know, hopefully it helps motivate, you know, at least one person to get to where they want to be, if that makes sense, or get to where they want to be. So I hope these videos help at least like one person with reaching their goals. So I hope that these videos help at least one person reach their goal, whether that's you're taking something from my workout routine, whether that's something from my food, which I also have yet to post. I was in the middle of posting it, or doing like a like the meals I eat in a day. I was in the middle of doing that, but then it was kind of a weird day, and it just wasn't gonna turn out good. So I ended up scrapping it, but eventually I will do it. But I hope that, you know, you can learn, like, the person that I'm talking to that's trying to lose weight and stuff through this camera. I hope that you can learn something from these videos. You know, whether it helps one person, two people, three people, or nobody, it's just cool for me to have like a, I guess you could say like a digital diary of when I was what, like 220, I think that's when I started, 200, 205, 210 pounds and after. So yeah. New week, new weigh-in. It's July 18, 2026. I'm gonna show you my weight today. All right, this is what it's looking like so far. So I'll probably give it another week or two before I officially put it up on here and see the full progress. So far it's looking like 3, 4, like 4-ish, 5 pounds so far. So hopefully by the end of the week it'll be a lot, it'll be a smaller number, maybe 6 pounds hopefully. When it updated, it's actually 195.4. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah, that's July 18. July 18, we did a 195.4. Total about 6-ish pounds lost. I'll update you guys on the next week. Today's July 24. I'm gonna weigh in. 198.2. So I did go up a little bit. Like I said before, it's perfectly normal, you know, to process. A few things are wrong. Didn't drink enough water. My bottle is still full. So that's one part. Ate a little bit too much. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do. I think I said I was gonna do this. This was the last week, but I think I want to do one more. I think I want to do one more week, just to finish off the month, just so it doesn't look weird as I go on to the next. So that's probably what I'll do. Yeah, the number should hopefully be under what it is July 18, which is 195. So that's the goal, just to be under 195 by the end of the month. All right. Today's July 30th. I'm weighing in. I kind of forgot to weigh in earlier. I kind of ate something, but it is what it is. I'll still show you. So 193 or 87.5. So I did eat something, and usually this number's lower after my second workout, but it is what it is. So that's what it is for the week. Right here. 7 point. So that's in this month alone. In this month alone, it's 8.8 pounds in July. But in the month from June to July, it's a total of 12.6 pounds lost. Little by little, I'm making the progress. I want to go back to the boxing gym to see if they can help me out with a few things. You know, I barely got the taste of what it feels like to, you know, be able to move a little bit faster, and I'm just done. I wanna be finished already, but obviously that takes time, and I just gotta be consistent, and I'll be there eventually. So it's just a matter of time before I get there, And yeah, I'm about to be 180 already. You know, it was 200 in July. About to break 190. Now I'm about to break 180 by the end of the month. 183 should have been lower today. But it should have realistically been at 182, but it's fine. It is what it is. I'll get there eventually. I'm not gonna, worry too much about it because I know I'll reach that goal eventually. Yeah, I try to get this big clump of videos out as soon as possible. It's cool that I get to document this, and whether one person sees it or nobody sees it, it's for my own use. If anyone does see this, I hope it helps them out. It shows them a realistic point of view of what weight loss is like. It's never just a constant drop. It's always gradual. So yeah.